Good day everyone, I am Viann Limas from Base HM3B and today I am going to report Chapter 14, Insurance Law. So our learning objectives enumerate items that can be insured by a tourism establishments, identify the rationale behind the concept of insurance, explain the different kinds of insurance, and identify the advantages and disadvantages of having insurance. Insurance is very useful for companies engaged in the tourism industry because there are many kinds of risk in enterprises where investment oftentimes is quite substantial. Contracts are governed by the insurance law, so in case of the latter's deficiency, provisions of the Civil Code of the Philippines govern. Definition on concept. The law. Section 2:1. So, a contract of insurance is an agreement whereby one undertakes for a consideration to indemnify another against loss, damage, or liability arising from an unknown or contingent event. The discussion of the law. So, the essential elements of an insurance contract are: first, insurable interests, and existence of risk; third, assumption of such risk by the insurer; then fourth, said assumption being part of a general scheme to distribute actual losses among those bearing similar risks; and last is payment of premium. The characteristics of an insurance contract are: first, aleatory. So it is one where the obligations depend upon on the occurrence of an uncertain event or one certain to happen but an indeterminate time. Then we have of indemnity. So there is an exchange of value for value, particularly in property insurance. Then we have onerous. So there is a valuable consideration given, like the payment of premium. Then bilateral. So both parties are bound to do something. And last is formal. As to form, a policy is required to be issued and the premium must. The parties is an insurance contract are: first, insurance. Insurance contracts may refer to the following. So we have life insurance. So it is an insurance on human lives, an insurance pertaining thereto or connected therewith. Then we have fire insurance. So it includes loss by fire, lightning, windstorm, tornado, or earthquake, and other allied skills. Then we have marine insurance. So it is a contract whereby one for a consideration agrees to indemnify another for the loss. Then last is personal accident insurance. So it is an insurance which provide pecuniary compensation for expenses or losses of income brought about by death or bodily injury. Insurable interests. So the law. Section 10. Every person has an insurable interest in the life and health. Then we have Section 13. Every interest in property, whether real or personal, or any relation thereto, or liability in respect thereof, of such nature that a contemplated peril might directly indemnify the insured, is an insurable interest. Then we have Section 14. An insurable interest in property may consist in: first, an existing interest; second, in chout interest founded on an existing interest; then an expectancy coupled with an existing interest that out of which the expectancy arises. Discussion of the law. So, an insurable interest is that the relationship with a person or thing that will support the issuance of an insurance policy. So, insurable interest in property should exist not only on the date of execution of the contract of insurance, but on the date of the occurrence of the risk insured against. So, on the other hand, insurable interest in the life and health of a person insured must exist when the insurance takes effect, but need to exist thereafter or when the loss occurs. Fire, marine, and third-party liability insurance. So we have first insurance against loss or damage. Then we have marine protection and indemnify insurance. So discussion of the law. So the phrase perils of the sea or perils of navigation includes only those casualties due to the unusual violence or extraordinary action of wind and wave or to other extraordinary causes connected with navigation. So such a loss is rather due to what is called as perils of the ship. So in such case, the insurer does not undertake the insure against perils of the ship. Compulsory motor vehicle liability insurance. So the law, section 373. So for purposes of this chapter, so we have motor vehicle is any vehicle is defined in section 3. Then passengers is any fare paying person being transported and conveyed in and by a motor vehicle. Then third party is any person or other than a passenger as defined in this section shall also exclude a member of the household. Then we have land transportation operation, so it means the owner of the owners of motor vehicles for transportation of passengers for compensation, including school buses. Then the last is insurance policy. So, our policy refers to a contract of insurance against the passenger and third party liability for death and bodily injuries from motor vehicle accidents. Then we have section 374. So it shall be unlawful for any land transportation operator to operate the same in the public highways unless there is in force in relation thereto a policy insurance. Then we have section 377. So every land transportation operator and every owner of a motor vehicle shall, before applying for the registration or renewal of registration of any motor vehicle. War risk insurance. So the law. War risk insurance is an insurance covering damage caused by acts of war. So it includes coverage for war, hijacking, and related perils. So insurers have intended to withdraw liability coverage for weapons of mass destruction. So a subset of war risk insurance. So WMD includes radioactive contamination or dirty bombs, electromagnetic pulse devices, and chemical or biological weapons. So, discussion of the law. So, some countries, like the USA, provide coverage while others do not. So, the International Air Transportation Association, or IATA, has argued that airlines in countries that do not provide coverage are at the competitive disadvantages. So, IATA policy. So, in most jurisdiction, including the European Union, airlines are required by law to have a liability insurance, including coverage for WMDs. So, aircraft lease agreements also require coverage of war risk insurance since the use of WMDs is directed against states. So, the ultimate responsibility for security of citizens rests with states. So that's all on my report about Chapter 14, Insurance Law. So I hope that you've learned something. Thank you for listening and God bless.